Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the Brawl for All tournament. We've got our round 2 matchup now. We're facing off against the Mexico City Wall Breakers, coached by Leo. He is from the Hive, and he's a bit of a character. Anyways, he's got Mega Pinsir, Lapras, Crocodile, Necrozma, Tapu Koko, and Rotom Wash, all of which he brought this match, and he left Goodra and Registeel on the bench. His Z-move users are Tapu Koko and Lapras, and he does bring the Lapras. I felt like Lapras was a huge threat to my squad. However, I don't like, you'll see during the match what set he actually brings, and I didn't feel like that would be the set he brought, but it is, which is fine, it's not a big deal. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop into the battle. So, he's got 3 potential Stealth Rockers in Mega Pinsir, Crocodile, and Necrozma, and we've got 3 potential Stealth Rockers in Garchomp, Clefable, and Nidoqueen. So it was a bit tricky what he would lead with. I felt maybe Necrozma would be a fine lead for him, but he does lead with this Tapu Koko, and we're going to lead off with her Licky Licky here. And our opponent is going to be forced out. He doesn't want to take an Earthquake, or I hope he doesn't. I'm not really sure what my opponent's thought process is here, but he does just U-turn out and goes into his Rotom Wash as we go for Toxic. And this is huge. So had I landed this Toxic, he would be at 94% right now. And if he had leftovers, of course he would recover back up. But he would be chipped down relatively well throughout the match. And you guys understand what I'm talking about once we get into that. So I'm forced to kind of just click it again as my opponent is able to get a Toxic off. So had my first Toxic landed, I could have prevented my Licky Licky from being poisoned. I could have hard switched into my Nidoqueen on a potential Volt Switch, or predicted a Toxic there and went into my Nidoqueen as well, and then doubled out, predicting the Water type move to come out. All kinds of different things I could have did there, but unfortunately I missed, so I had to click Toxic again. So I'm already behind 1 turn, which is unfortunate, but we can make up the difference. We do have a very powerful squad, so let's go ahead and keep going here. He goes for the Volt Switch, bounces off, goes out into his Tapu Koko, and we're going to throw off a Wish here. Really nice for us, tough for him though, and we're going to hard switch into our Nidoqueen as he just U-turns out once again. So that's a little bit unfortunate for me. I would have liked to have caught my Wish with Licky Licky there, had I known he was just going to U-turn out. But he is able to bring out his Necrozma on my Nidoqueen now, which is going to force me out. Don't necessarily want to stay in versus that bad boy as he gets his Stealth Rocks up. So it was a fine play by him. I'm going to throw off a Toxic here once again as he goes for the Photon Geyser. It will do roughly half, and I can roost off that damage, see if he wants to stay in there and continuously go for that. He may not. However, he brings in his Rotom Wash here. I'm going to hard switch into my Garchomp as my Licky Licky has already been poisoned. So check this out. This is where the Toxic comes into play. He is at 88% here when he should be at roughly 82%. So what I'm going to do is click Swords Dance here, and he goes for the Hydro Pump. And now he's at 75% when he should be at 69%. Or he should actually, it would actually be an extra round of Toxic damage at this point. So there you go. I got a 60% roll. Had I got those 2 rounds of Toxic damage earlier, a 6 and a 12, or just a 6 and a 6, he wouldn't be able to get this Hydro Pump off. Meaning the Toxic damage would have put me in my Salic Berry range, and he would have been forced into Mega Pinsir to use Quick Attack if he has it. But that's not the case. We have a double down, and my opponent's reasoning for the Toxic misses not mattering was Rotom died anyway. Absolutely nonsense. You would not think this player was from the prestiged Hive League. You would not think that based on his afterthoughts of the match and things like that. Anyways, I go into my Oricorio as he brings in his Crocodile. I can comfortably take any hit here because I do have the Charty Berry, and I can just roost up, see what he wants to go for. Now knockoff will do significantly less. He does bring out his Tapu Koko here as I throw off a Toxic. So, had he been Toxic earlier on the Tapu Koko, I think I went for the Toxic earlier on Tapu Koko. Don't quote me on that. But he would have taken an extra round of this as well. But here, what I can do is just roost up, see what my opponent wants to lock himself into. He goes for the Nature's Madness. Obviously, he's not locked, and he's going to blow me back with the Twinkle Tackle on this turn. So that was a really nice play there to see the Twinkle Tackle. However, I didn't expect it because he revealed Nature's Madness. So now I'm able to go out into my Nidoqueen Queen and see what he wants to go for. He does go for the Nature's Madness, as I'm going to get Earth Stealth Rocks, which is going to be nice for the Mega Pinsir, for the Lapras, and getting chip on everything else as well. He just continues to spam Nature's Madness here, which is fine play. I can just knock him out here. He's not going to save Coco. It did die to rocks at that point, so I can understand that. And now he's going to bring out his Crocodile, and now we're in a tough position here. I don't want to get bopped by an Earthquake, so I'm going to hard switch out into my Clefable. Clefable can take this thing on pretty comfortably as he goes hard into his Lapras as I Soft Boil up. I am my Calm Mind to attacks variant with Soft Boil, and don't necessarily want to take what he's about to go for here. He goes for the Whirlpool, which does residual damage, I believe. And he's got the Perish Song. He doesn't reveal it yet. He goes for the Protect here on this turn, which is fine play as well. And what I can do is go out into my Mega Alakazam on the following turn here. I am Magic Guard. I did not take any damage, thankfully, coming in on rocks there. And what I can do is sub up as he brings in his Necrozma, and I'm able to trace the Prism Armor. So that's really nice for me. I'm going to go for the Signal Beam here. Don't really want to... I think I'm just sub-recover anyway. Sub-recover into attacks. And he's got the knockoff, which is doing quite a bit of damage. I don't necessarily want to take a knockoff just yet. I want to see how much damage it does first at full, and it does 36, so I'm okay with that. I'm actually really, really okay with that. But here, in the case that he got a crit or a higher roll, I just felt like Signal Beam was my best play there. I could go ahead and get that damage off there. And I do try to save my Garchomp. My Mega Alakazam, because it can take on the Lapras pretty well. And at this point, Lapras is going to be really tough to beat. So I'm going to bring in my Clefable immediately and start setting up Calm Minds here. No reason not to. Calm Mind up. I'm pretty sure he's going to go for something like Perish Song here. And what I can do is Calm Mind up again. And I didn't know what his Lapras was, so I didn't want to risk it just yet. So I'm going to hope that he switches out on the following turn, and he'll take another round of Stealth Rocks damage. And being an Ice type, he will take a little bit extra from the Stealth Rocks. And I was hoping that it would put him in range of like a +2 Moonblast, or potentially a +3, depending on how he plays it. What he's going to do is go into his Crocodile here, and I'm going to bring back out my Clefable as he knocks out my Licky, and I'm going to start setting up Calm Minds again. And what's going to happen is my opponent's going to click Perish on here, and we're not going to be able to get through that, I don't believe. And our opponent's going to pick up the win here. A little bit unfortunate, you know, not necessarily that we lost. Our opponent did luck us, but our last game we got pretty lucky at the end, despite being luck throughout the battle. My opponent, Leo here, he doesn't really understand Mons all that much. As you can see, we had a little discussion over on the right-hand side. All I said was I wish the game was cleaner, and my opponent was completely oblivious to the fact of what happened in the battle. And I don't mind about the RNG, but I do mind that my opponent's acknowledgement of the RNG was ignorant. My opponent was ignorant. Things like that. But anyways, it's going to be a good game. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This ends our run for Brawl for All. But like I mentioned in their last upload for the Brawl for All tournament, I am going to try to catch some games live when we get to like the Final Four, and especially to the championship, if I can, hopefully. But that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.